It is 5 p.m., and you know when it's 5, we are here with the Woman Blossom. To all the Arsenal supporters, I know we've been disappointed, but please take heart. Take heart. And I know all the people from Manu and everywhere are rejoicing. But anyway, it is. It is okay. Kasita tuine chikopo chetu wangudde era kale. Yeah, but always as Arsenal players anyway, we always win. Anyways, I want to welcome you. I'm called Sarah Taylor and welcome to the Woman Blossom Show. Now, when it is this time, you know that you need to be on your screen because we are always ready for you. Well, I am here today and I am so excited. I have a guest that we had also last Sunday, but I'll still allow her introduce herself every day because as women, we are always blossoming and there is always something new. My beautiful guest.
Yes, Sarah.
Hi, Gift. Please say hi to the people that are watching us.
Hi, Manu fans. How are we? Me, I'm so happy. I said, I didn't win.
No. We have so many haters, but it's okay.
Oh, God. The world is a bit calm. Very calm. Actually, it's very calm.
Yeah.
Very calm. That's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Last time it was
was
something.
chaos.
Yeah, it was something else.
For
So,
the love of Arsenal.
about Manu,
About
we are
Oh,
happy.
you're a Man
We
U
are happy. Like, we are
supporter.
happy.
Hey, okay. Anyways, you look so beautiful today.
Thank you, Sarah.
How
Thank
was your
you.
week?
My week has been amazing. It's but still very tight. Ebola is here. A lot of emotions all over the place.
Right.
People are having events that have been cancelled. Some of us, some programs at our churches have been, a bit affected.
Yeah.
And well, we're just praying to God to help us get over this because it's one of those deadly outbreaks that we apparently have in the country. And I would really caution each and every one of us to be very conscious and take on the preventive measures, the SOPs. Let's follow them such that the numbers do not keep increasing because apparently I think the case is around 7 or 9, so we should make sure we don't really go beyond that because Ebola, only one case is enough to declare it like
Right.
a pandemic and an outbreak. So we need to take very good measures. Yeah.
Okay. I'm so glad that your week was good and thank you for talking about Ebola. Okay, let's go right into our topic today. I'm so excited. Today we are talking mental health, we are talking boundaries, we are talking self-care, and I am so excited
You are
about
self-care.
today.
Can't-
Yes. So, Gift, I usually hear this phrase women are so emotional, and most of the times people even use it in a negative way. Do you agree with them? Are women even that emotional? Let's start from there as we talk about mental health today.
Thank you so much, dear Sarah, and thank you so much, our lovely viewers of Woman Blossom. My name is Giftina Kainga. I'm a mental health coach and strategist, and at the same time, a consultant. I like strategizing for individuals, organizations, a good mental health measures that we can use in the different spaces because in every space, the measures are different. At the workplace, it's different. As an individual, it's different. In school, it's different. In a home setting, it's different. Like everywhere, it's different. So that's why I'm a strategist. I'm your go-to strategist in that case.
Yes.
But anyway, to answer the question, before I get into answering the question, we know today it is the 31st of May.
Right.
And it happens to be the last day of the Mental Health Awareness Month. May is the
wow.
Mental Health Awareness Month.
Oh, wow.
And today we are closing the Awareness Month. But that doesn't mean that we've stopped talking about mental health. No. It's just that WHO saw it deserving to give us this month of May for us to keep talking mental health day in, day out, day in, day out. But also we have in October, which is the 10th, the World Mental Health Day. So this is just to help us prepare also for that day. But every single day we need to have conversations around mental health. So I want to answer your question of why do we say that women are emotional? You're asking, do I agree? Yes, I agree.
Okay.
I agree that we are emotional, but also men are emotional. Yeah.
Interesting.
Every human being has emotions, but it depends on the extremities of those emotions, and it depends on how we present those emotions. So men have emotions, they just don't present them the way us women present them. Yeah, I think men but Sabola, people use this word of batulaga mature. Men show that
Maturity.
yes, when it comes to, putting their emotions out there. And yet for us women, it's the other way around. For us, we go to both extremes. The highs and the lows, but for men, they're in there. So I think I would say why we say that women are emotional beings. I want to start with talking about the components of the mind. Components. Ebintu ebikola endowooza yaffe, the mind.
Yeah.
Ebintu ebikola endowooza yaffe. We have 3 parameters.
Okay.
Tuyinamu gye tuyita ID, tuyinamu gye tuyita ego, tuyinamu ne gye tuyita super ego. Okay. So bw'otandika ne ID, eyo ID ebeerawo nga kuva ng'omwana muto, omuntu nga muto, from childhood. Then omuntu we yeeyongera okukula, they get into another parameter, which is the ego.
Okay.
Then still we yeeyongera okukula n'atandika, like how we are now relating with society and all that, we also tap into another parameter, which is the super ego. So back to the ID. ID, we call it the pleasure principle. Pleasure principle. That ID, why we call it the pleasure principle? Because for it, it's about I want. It is the I want principle. Like it is I want, and I want. There is no it's I want. Why do I say that it's so common in childhood? It's not common, it's from childhood. If you look at a baby, to anyone now that is watching us and you have a baby, your baby, when they want to breastfeed, omwana tafaayo oba mama mulamu oba si mulamu oba ayagala kwebaka oba tayagala kwebaka, ye ayagala kuyonka. When a child is crying, oyina okuleka byonna byokola to attend to that child. Era wobeera awo ng'omwana akaaba n'omuleka ng'akaaba, ffe omuntu asoga no omuntu aliko are the brains really working well? Why doesn't he or she attend to the kid? Kubanga omwana kyonna kyakola kikulaga I want to be taken care of, I want to be protected, I want to be fed, I want this. Bwe muba n'omwana mu nju, it's like the world has stopped. Buli omu attention yebeera omwana kino, omwana mwakoze kino, omwana mwakoze kino. Kyobola abamu abazadde bagamba nti ono mwana we namuzzaako tayagala ono mwana gwe nazaala, because now the attention is shifting. Waliwo omulala atwala attention, so that brings about another kind of reliably in the family. So it is because of that idea is in there. It's I want. So omuntu nga bwe ngambye bw'okula, we expect you to get into the ego, the other parameter, and that ego is what we call the reality principle. Reality, amazima, the reality. So eyo ego ekuyambako nti oyina okumanya nti kale njagala, but can I have? I want that dress that you have. Do I have money to get it? Njagala eyo wigi ekulukuta negwe mabega. Those ones. You need to ask yourself as a sentence, that is now the reality. Your ego has to kick in. Sometimes tetwetaaga abantu kutugamba nti Sarah tokola ekyo. Like you go to ogenze ku State Square weeyambudde. Nga ego yeba teri mu kukola, because if it is working, ebe yino kugamba nti naye ku City Square oyina okweyambulira of all places. The ego, it is the reality principle. Ekulaga reality eriwo. I like comparing it to usually in our settings, owulira abantu nga they complain about men. Nti omusajja wabayagala like era everyone is omusajja mumukole bwe muti omusajja bamukola kino, because men, for them, the men stick into the ego, they stick into their reality. And as the women, sometimes we don't stick into we don't use that ego, that component. We don't use it. Now for us, we get stuck into the ID. So yeah, I'll come back to explain the emotional thing. So the ego, it is the reality. Ekuyambako kulaga nti, yes, you want this, but look at the reality. Oyagala kusomera mu Harvard, ne points ezigenda mu Harvard, ne sente, like like I said, tewetaaga muntu kunyonyola bintu bimu. Already God put that component in us, that reality principle. Then another principle is what I called the super ego. So that super ego, it is the moral instance, it is the moral principle. It is etuyambako okwasaganya eri principle gye nakugambye ya pleasure neno principle ya reality. Nti nkyetaaga, and the reality is actually I have the money. I've assessed, I've done, I've checked, and I have the money. Nkyetaaga and I have the money. Your pleasure, your reality, they come and they match. Then super ego ngeje kugamba. Moral principle nti ye kale sente zo zirina ate era okyetaaga naye wano mu kkanisa ekwatisa mpisa. Ekwatisa empisa between what you want and your reality. Because there are things that we want. For example, with emotions, there are certain emotions, joyagala. Like I feel like I want to come here and shout and nyombe so mutu and all that. My super ego has to come in engambe ne gift. Chiche chikuoganisa ku TV. Of all places, that is the morals. Empisa ziliwa society joli muwolinga sichifo like empisa. Chova aliwe bintu ebimunga in certain societies video okay, but in other societies so that super ego is being shaped by the culture, the belief systems, the upbringing, and so many other things. Abana bakuza babagamba kino wadde yes je kiri abalala bakikola but si kya mpisa, si kya mu Buganda, si kya mu culture yafe. That is fenga abalokole, fenga ab'ennyumba eno, fenga abasawo, fenga. So it even happens in like our different professions and all that. So those are the three parameters. So we expect as human beings to have those parameters working. Lwaki njijeyo a bit of the ego nti abantu bagamba era omusajja kino era omusajja kino naye lwaki omusajja kino, like us women sometimes feel like society eyimusanya omusajja amukolere kino, omusajja amukolere kino, omusajja muleka abeera omusajja. And also men know so well that is their reality. And yes, a man has to be a man. That is the reality. That is the reality. And sometimes techiba na kuba nti oba akuze nti musajja, they are maybe in their 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever. But you can even find a 7-year-old ngeyo ego developed.
Sure.
One time we were in a function, I served my cousin, nemuwe mmere nga tekuli enkoko. Katamala nemubuuza, which part do you want? And then this little boy had to ask me, ani agenda okulya enkoko nkulu. In my head, I'm like, when did we reach here? Omwana ono, that is barely 7 years. Yategeera ddi nti nze musajja nze alina okulya enkoko. Enkoko enkulu.
Wow.
Another thing, abazadde bw'obeera ng'oli mukyala n'oba n'omwana omulenzi, so for some reason you feel like there is protection, there is ne bw'aba mwana muto, for some reason you feel like there is that kind of tulina omusajja mu nju. And that is now the other reality. And they also tap into it. So I wanted to say that women, we get stuck into the ID. Nosanga omukyala ali myaka 3, 4, 5, 6, 20 nenga they are still stuck in their pleasure principle. There. Akola bimunyumira. I think that is why we pick that statement of nze nkola binyumira. My life is my life. That is the pleasure principle. But yet, God is expecting us to come into these other principles, into the realities, into the super ego. Bosegalanga operating in your ID. That's why we even fail to balance our emotions. So that brings me back to the question of, Is it true that women are emotional people? Yes, we are, simply because sometimes most of us get stuck in our ideas. In that principle, that pressure principle, but if you grow through all these components, bulungi, you get even to know how to balance your emotions. Which emotion deserves where and when, yeah? Ate ekyabasajja kibatusingako. Of course, yeah, we can have that can be also discussed about why is it for men like that and is it health and all that. But just wanted to explain where sometimes that us being us being emotional, where it comes from. And also of late, not of late, I've always heard people say women fantasize a lot. Chochobola bangu bakulimba.
Cinda something dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true, because some of us get stuck in our ideas. We don't see the realities. Nti omuntu asobola okugamba omuwala asobola okugamba omukyala asobola okugamba njagala ekintu kya ssente bwest, but kati omusajja nga wabitunulamu alabira ddala, but we don't have that money. We don't have that much. But because now for her she's into her pleasure, what they call the fantasy. Actually, I think people call it the fantasy.
The fantasy world.
Yet asobola ku establishing us in realities endala. And that world that we get stuck into, if you get stuck into your idea, your emotions become a problem.
Oh, Gift, you're so knowledgeable. I keep telling you that. You've brought so many aspects. I want us to go back to the emotional base. What are emotions? Are there different kinds of emotions? I want us to break a little bit to the people that are watching us so that we understand. But I love the 3 principles that you've talked about. But I want us to go back because someone may be asking, emotions. You know, some people don't even know that they have emotions. So I want us to talk about those things, to break down emotions so that the people out there can understand. Yes, please.
Okay, thank you so much. Emotions, we have a number of emotions. We have fear as an emotion. We have anxiety as an emotion. We have anger as an emotion. We have joy, happiness as an emotion. We have disappointment as an emotion. We have frustration as an emotion. And sometimes we also put exhaustion as an emotion. We have a number of emotions. And each one of us has at least ever gotten an emotion of frustration, disappointment, anger, joy, the happiness, even love as an emotion.
Oh, love is also an emotion.
Sometimes we put it there because there are people that operate with it as an emotion. So there are so many different kinds of emotions, and I want to believe that any one of us, wali onyizeko, wali osanyuseko, wali obeddeko disappointed, wali otiddeko, wali obaddeko anxious, wali ogrievingeko, all those are emotions.
Okay, thank you very much. That's good. Thank you so much for that. Now, I want to ask something also. There are people who are, too emotional. Okay, I don't want, as a doctor, you help us.
Use it.
Because some people can be happy and they're overly happy. Kale, bachisusamu, tujagamba bachisusamu. Omuntu omulala, and they're angry. No labanga, their level is the extent of nagenda nakuba omuntu ne bamutwala newa neruzira. My question, doctor, would be, can emotions be controlled? If yes, how can we control emotions as women today? Kubanga nebitucyankalanya bingi bannange musawo. Yes.
Ebitukyankalanya bingi ate bikyaliwo bijja nakubeerawo. Kubanga Yesu atugamba mugume pangudde ensi nammwe mujja kuwangula. So that's why of late we are training people to know how to protect, to know how to maneuver even in the dynamics, because challenges are there, disappointments, like all those things, they are there, but you just need to know how to bounce back, how to get over them and all that. So when you mention that some people are overly emotional. Some people are overly emotional, which is I don't want to say that it's good or it's bad, but still, if you are doing life with people, being overly emotional, it's not a good thing.
Okay.
But one thing we should understand in mu mental health, tetukkiriza nnyo extremities.
Okay.
Extremities nsanyuse nnyo. That in mental health, that is not good. That any extremities of nyize nnyo nsanyuse nnyo. Someone might ask, Rashate, someone being happy is a problem. The any extremities in mental health, they can lead to something else that is not good. So that's why we encourage people to be moderate, to keep within. It shouldn't be to the extreme. Because it is okay okunyiga. We are humans. Osobola okunyiga ebintu ebitunyiza bibaawo. But we are saying not to the extreme. Because if you go to the extreme, then there is a problem there. So if you ask me, why is it that some of us are really that emotional? You realize that we do life going through things. Ebitukosa. And also, we should understand that we are embedded different personalities. Tuyina personalities ezenjawulo. There are certain personalities nga mweyo personality omuntu gy'alina kijja kumuleetera okubanga is an emotional person.
Oh, wow.
Personality gy'olina ekuleetera okubanga you are at risk of being an overly emotional person.
Wow,
I would give an example. Like a personality of people that have histrionic personality. Oba example, mu Luganda nkiyite, tulina abantu be tuyita abali hysterical. Oba gye mumanyi nga hysteria. So there is that personality y'abantu ba attention seekers. People that are attention seekers. That person can end up having an extreme of an emotion. Because for them, due to given their personality, they thrive on attention. They thrive on attention. So if you don't give them the attention, kijamuleta ogenda ko
Extreme.
to the extreme.
Oh, wow.
Ajja kola kyonna kyakola to get the attention.
Ooh. That's good.
Because that is their personality. Emulimu, that is their personality. Then there are other people that, for example, we have people that have a paranoid personality. Paranoid, ye muntu okubanga yekengera buli ssaawa. They don't easily trust. Ye muntu abanga n'ekikopo yakiramba kyanyweramu omulala tasobola like they are very suspicious. Someone might want to do something wrong. So very suspicious. So that person, given that personality, asobola okuba nga ali overly sensitive than other people. Then you also realize that sometimes the overliness of emotions, it's also because of our attachments. We have different attachment styles. We have different attachments, especially people that have anxious attachment style. Chances are high that you will have that overly of emotions because of your attachment, which is not the same thing with someone that is dismissive or someone that has an avoidant personality. Because for you who's anxious, for you attach. And when you attach, when you don't family attached, when the other person now withdraws, it puts you to the extreme of emotions. So there are so many things that cause that, but also unhealed wounds. You've gone through trauma, you've gone through things, and you've not healed from them. Toby Wanyem, chances are high that you will be overly nga emotions zo ziri kuno kungulu. Ku sleeves, esawa yonna onyiga, esawa yonna otabuka, esawa yonna anxiety comes in, fear comes in. And yet, like I said, those emotions, we experience them every single day. But how you maneuver through them. And also we are telling people, it's not good for you to have your emotions all over the place. It's exhausting.
It is.
Very exhausting because waliwo abantu nga tagenda kumanya nti gift is an hysterical person nga ye ebyo tabitegeera. Someone will not understand that you are paranoid but baja gamba but this one is also a hard person. So that's why it's important for us to really understand which kinds of personalities do we have, which kinds of attachments do we have. The temperaments is a physicity bogenda mu ba melancholics, the phlegmatics, the emotions ojakasangayo given the temperament they have,
right.
But if you get to know those things, you know how to maneuver them based on your personality and temperament.
Wow, Gift. There's so much. For the people that are watching, please get a book and a pen because you need to write these things. I feel like we have touched on so many things that we need to dig deeper. I keep telling you, I feel like we are touching surfaces, but I'm so glad that we are learning. Thank you so much. To all our viewers, hopefully you're learning something. Oh, I'm learning so much. I'm learning so much. And I know you are learning so much. We're going to take a quick break. Please don't touch the remote and see you after the break.
Good Day TV, transforming your life. Don't miss on Good Day TV.
There are many times when God leads us in directions that are uncomfortable on some level because He wants us to grow, to trust Him in greater ways. On the flip side, sometimes as we're seeking to discern our own hearts with regard to a certain decision, even though we may feel relief on the surface because something feels less risky or less unknown, we may become aware of a diminishment of life, peace, and freedom on a deeper level.
So I'm going to encourage you just to pause and consider a time when you were seeking God's direction on a major decision in your life. And think about how you would have answered these first questions in this series and how God may have used them to provide clarity for you as to His will. And then I would encourage you just to share that with those who are around you, how you experience some forms of confirmation in your own story.
Don't miss on Good Day TV. Good Day TV, transforming your life. Good Day TV, transforming your life.
I will want to welcome you back from that short break. Welcome back. You can please get a glass of water, a dress, and enjoy your Sunday as we are learning so much from our coach. Well, we're going to be talking about mental health right now in this segment. You know, Gift, mental health is a word that is everywhere now. But I don't know if our viewers actually understand. The first time I had mental health, nalingamboba bebana bebutabika. You know? Because when you hear the word mental, automatically what comes to your mind, you're like, oh, maybe something, yeah. So we are going to talk mental health, our dear coach. What is mental health?
Mental health kwe kubanga osanga obuzibu mu kumanaginga obulamu bwo obwa bulijjo, osanga obuzibu okukwatagana n'abantu, osanga obuzibu okukola okusalawo n'okusalawo kuli basic, osanga obuzibu okulaba obulamu nga bw'olina okubulaba, ebintu nga bw'olina okubiraba.
Oh, wow. That's so good.
osanga obuzibu, even what we talked about the emotions, osanga obuzibu okumanaginga emotions zo. Kyova olaba osanga omuntu nga muli kulumbe mukaaba naye nga ye aseka. Kuba ye talina eyo reality. Mwe mugirina naye ye tagiraba. So mental health kwe kubanga obwongo bwo busanga obuzibu in different areas. Of course nga bwogambye nti abantu abamu balowooza nti abantu abalina obuzibu you asked mental health. Mental health is when you are able ng'osobola ebyo byonna okubikola olaba obulamu nga bw'olina obulaba. So kiri kyenyinyonnyodde is when you have a problem with your mental health. But mental health is when you are able to do all those things. Nga obulamu osobola okubulaba, osobola okulaba nti kati kyangu kizibu. Nti like you can manage your emotions, you can form healthy relationships, you have emotional wellness, you have this psychological wellness, like nga buli kimu kiri bulungi. But when that health is affected, then you get into the other things byenjogeddeko. Nti obulamu tobulaba balanga babulaba. You don't even have the motivation of doing life. Like, obeera awo in a state etali ya bulijjo. I think I can say that. But also, ogambye nti tulowooza abantu abali ebutabika be balina mental health. So ekigambo mental health is when you are okay. When we say mental health, that means your mental state is okay. You mentally healthy. But now, I think sometimes what people want to mean is the mental illness.
The other one is an illness.
Yeah, mental health. Because if we say mental health is the state of well-being of an individual, socially, emotionally, like well-being. But when that well-being gets affected, then ogenda eri kubiri byenjogedde. Now that's when you get into the mental illness. Nobanga obwongo butawaana. You can't comprehend even the normal things, making decisions and all other things. So if we say nti abantu abalina obuzibu ku bwongo bebo bokka abali ebutabika, we are wrong. We are so wrong. Reasons being, singa buli dwaliro lyalina psychiatric unit. Psychiatric is the same as, okay, in the medical field we call mental health, that discipline, as psychiatry. So amalwaliro agabeeramu abantu abalina obuzibu ku bwongo, we call them psychiatric wards, psychiatric units. So singa buli ddwaliro mu Uganda oba ne mu nsi yonna lyali lyaccommodatinga abantu abalina obuzibu ku bwongo, olowooza singa ffenna tituli mu malwaliro? Why? I think in Butabika, Butabika tulinayo extreme cases, the extreme cases. But also n'abantu abali Butabika, because for me, when I was still working in Butabika, natuka ekiseera and I gotten used to that environment. I gotten used to people there. Ngandaba. So for some reason I gotten used. And I remember when I left Butabika, because it had formed my ideal. It had formed my ideal. So when I left Butabika and came back into the community, etali Butabika, nalabira ddala nti oba ate kale abali ebutabika balamu okusinga kufa abatali mu ddwaliro.
Wow.
Reasons being nti at least oli ali mu ddwaliro and you are sure ali ku ddagala, they are being managed, they are being worked on. But we have so many of us into the community, even going to work, giving birth, getting married, like, being promoted at work, doing things here and there every now and then, and yet we are mentally sick.
Wow. Okay. Okay. This is really the reality, but I even don't know how to phrase this question. How do you know that you're not mentally well? Kubanga ebintu byoyogerako gift. This is the reality. Tutambula mbulamu every day. We have families. you know, things are happening, but if you can examine n'olaba nti abo butabika bayinza okuba batusinga nako, then I think the people out there need to really take caution of what we are talking about today. Bino ebintu bye twetaaga okwogerako today. I'm so excited about this. Gift, manya ntya nti siri bulungi mentally?
Omanya otya nti toli bulungi bwe tutunuulira ku bulwadde bw'omutwe, the mental issues, tulina we tugamba nti omuntu alina insight ng'omuntu amanyi nti ndi mulwadde. It's you knowing that actually I have a problem.
Yes.
But then there are many of us that don't have insight. Kati yeffe abali in the corporate space tumanyi tuli like we don't have insight. Kyekyo kyogambye kyekiri kyenkunyonyodde nti ate abali ebutabika bali okay because now they know, like we know nti oli wano oli mulwadde, but some of us we don't have insight that we are sick. So you realize that for us to know nti tulina obuzibu ku mutwe, like we have issues with our mental health, the assessments that are supposed to be done, of course, that can be done in a hospital setting, kubanga olumu oyinza obutamanya, but also there are certain basic things bye tuyina okutunuulira, and also bino bisinziira ku bulwadde ki, ku buli bulwadde biba byanjawulo, ku buli bulwadde byanjawulo, but we always encourage people, I think kyenyinza obagamba okubanga batunuulira patterns zaabwe. Otunuulira patani yo oba n'otunuulira ne patani y'abantu b'oli nabo b'okola nabo obulamu, like nga mikwano gyo, family, baganda bo ku mulimo, like you look at their patterns. Ezo patterns zisobola okulaga nti leero Gift ali bulungi, leero tali bulungi. Though still it might have a bit of limitation because like I said, we know how to cover up. Nenjija nga ndabika bulungi bwenti, then I go back into the house netandika okwesala, wanting to commit suicide, I start abusing drugs like nothing, or like do all sorts of things. So we know how to cover up.
We cover up so much, by the way.
We know how to cover up. We know how to cover up. But back to the pattern thing, it is important that we observe the patterns. Weebuuze, waliwo abantu ogambe nti Sarah ye mukyala abeera nga musanyufu. Sarah lwatasanyuse, you need to ask yourself, leero Sarah kiki? But tuli busy nnyo, like we are so busy. Omuntu like for example us that come to church, nolaba omuntu nga tazze ku church for like 2 Sundays, 3 Sundays, and then you don't take time to ask, but why haven't you been coming to church?
Wow.
The pattern oyina okugitunuulira ennyo, naye era ne pattern endala y'abano abantu that show up, they show up even when deep down they are bleeding, they are sick and all that. We need also to deeply assess them. That is why I think nowadays we encourage the assessments. People to go into the hospital and do assessments, because for we can dig deep and understand what the problem is. Last time I told you mental health, bino bye tulaba si ensonga enkulu, but the root cause gye buva, it is the most important thing. Kubanga bw'omanya gye kiva, ekizibu gye kiva, then you can treat according to that. Then zino symptoms zisobola okuvaawo. So I think people need to tulina okuba nga tuwulirira emirembe mu kutukeberako mentally. Nyinza okumenyayo conditions ezimu. Condition nga depression gye tumanyi ennyo. Eyo depression abantu abamu bagitwala okubanga stress. Bagita stress. But also stress nowadays is a standalone. It's a standard. It's a standalone one. But you see, depression, for kugamba nti olina depression, it has to have persisted for like ngomaze nayo weeks nga 2 nga oli that persistent sadness, the withdrawal, the isolation, abambagana n'okuli abamu tebeebaka for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, we can establish that this person has depression. And then we can go ahead to assess which type of depression. Is it a minor depression? Is it a major depression? Is it depression with, there is what we call depression features nga omuntu okulaba ebintu byatalina kulaba. omuntu okuwulira amaloboozi gatalina kuwulira. So there are
yeah.
people that get to that extreme ng'alina
Yeah.
depression naye nga so okugamba ndaba bangoba onaŋŋamba nsale ekkubo. People that commit suicide takeera nkya n'agenda neyeesula mu mmotoka aba alina eddoboozi emabega olumu erimugamba genda. So it's not that I woke up, I want to commit suicide. No, some of them, there are a lot of voices telling them, do this and this and that.
You've reminded me of a story. Waliwo omchala she was sharing. They had this boy. For some reason, the boy neye choba doyogerako neye yaula ku bantu, family and everything. And ngacho gambye nti kubanga tubeera tulichi busy, you know, keera genda okole. The mom did not mind. Then after some time, bajango mwana, he's dead nga yes, just like that. So topics zoyogerako, it's what is happening right now. Ate abantu bazibuusa amaaso. So please continue. I'm sorry. Like
No,
I am
it's okay.
I'm so happy that we get to talk about these things.
Ate olaba ne butabika eyo abantu bagitya kuba balowooza
Yes.
ate abali ebutabika babi nnyo, but I don't want to put it like nti ate ffe abataliyo tuli bubi nnyo, but also naffe tetuli bulungi. That is the truth, as bad as it sounds. Naffe tetuli bulungi. If we could be truthful ne tubuuza abantu tubuulire emirundi emeka you've contemplated on committing suicide. Tuli bangi.
Yes. You're right.
And if that thought comes, tolowooza nti ekomyewo nagifunamu akaguwedde tejja kudda, it will come back.
Oh wow.
It comes back because of the
Yeah.
triggers that are all over the place.
Yeah.
And also you understand that families, okay, obadde ombuziza mental health and nowadays I want to define mental health for us, and I want to say that mental health is family. I want to start with mental health is family, because family contributes 90%, if not even 95%, of all the mental health problems that we have in the world.
Wow.
Ebintu ebisigadde just byongerezaako bwongereza.
5%.
It's just the other percentage, but family contributes 85%. Family eyo gy'ovaamu Sarah. It contributes to all the mental health problems that you will have. 85%. So you realize that in our families, we've not done enough work. We've not done enough. Ate ne tusuubira nti ku mirimu gye tukolera oba ku masomero abaana gye balaga, enough would be done, and yet enough has to be done in the family. Kyova ffe tuba tujanjaba omuntu kye tusooka omubuuza, it is the family background.
Wow. That's a good insight.
It is the family. Oyina omubuuza mu family yammwe muli mutya, mwali mufunyeko omuntu alina ekizibu bwekiti, baakukuza batya, enkula yonna, we assess enkula y'omuntu yonna okumanya Sarah yakula atya, omuzadde yamukolanga atya, we yakabanga baakolanga batya. All those details zitulaga obuzibu bw'oba now. So all that happens in families. One time I was telling people when I was teaching them, when I mbasomesa attachments, and I was telling them nti abazadde baffe olumu tebamanyi how they form, they make us get into these attachments. Kuba bambi tebamanyi. That is why awareness is here. Abamu tebamanyi. And I was telling them, I was talking to parents, nembagamba tokeera nkya n'ogamba abaana mupakinga ebintu katugenda kuva ennansana tudda makindye.
Ebintu bikyuse.
Like out of the blue.
Out of the blue.
Tusenguka. You causing abantu abaana abakuze oba abantu abakuze nga they are into that environment, shifting here and there, bamukyusa bamutute mweno family bamuziza mweno, they end up having an anxious attachment. Anytime, like, yes.
Wow.
They end up having different attachments that are not good because tewali stability. They were not secure. Era yabeera ng'amanyi abamu ne ku masomero babi bakola ng'amanyi handi wano ndi w'omwaka oba taamu emu. So kati eno mbukulu, that means even when the challenges come, bigenda muletera okuba nga ayangu ogenda into depression, ayangu ogenda into anxiety, and the other conditions. So why I emphasize that as family we need to do better. N'abalwadde betulaba ebutabika abo mumala omujjanjaba ne mumukwata ne mumutwala mu family n'emwegaana. Family ne tetumumanyi oyo si waffe. okay oyo bamweganye naye abamu babakkiriza naye bwe babakkiriza family era contributing kinene nnyo either omuntu oyo awona oba tawona because that is now the environment. So you realize our environment, they also act as triggers. Kati nobeera back and forth into episodes ng'orelapsinga bw'oddamu bw'owona. So I feel like, I don't know which kind, I feel like buli family, buli muntu ng'ali mu family, in a family setting, oli muzadde. Oyina okufaayo nnyo okulaba how you can protect obwongo bw'abantu b'oyina mu eyo family. Kuba mu bukulu oba bwe bajja eno mu community, community ebyexposinga byonna, ebyexposinga nnyo. For some of us, it's in relationships that we get exposed. And sometimes I want to tell people, if you want to test whether you are mentally okay or not, get into a relationship.
I agree.
Kubanga ejja kulaga attachment styles zo, ejja kulaga mood swings zo zonna, ejja kulaga like all these other bad things, that your traumas, all your unhealed wounds, ejja kusime. So the family history is important. Tuulaawo naawe ng'omuntu weebuze family yange eri etya. Abantu abamu tamanyi oba ewaabwe banywa omwenge oba tebanywa mwenge. Kati ate mbukulu n'akula n'atandika okunywa omwenge ne yeebuza oba kyavaawa. Naye ng'ewaabwe alina abanywa ku mwenge, generations and generations behind him. Oba n'ozaala omwana after like n'ozaala omwana n'atandika okunywa omwenge, and then you ask yourself lwaki omwana nga atandise okunywa omwenge. Naye ng'ewammwe oyinayo oba jjajja oba kojja wakojja eyanywako ku mwenge. What makes you think that it will not catch up with you? Because anything that happens in a family line, in a bloodline, it will catch up with any one of us. Ate mental health issues tezimanyi ddiini. That is one thing we should know.
That's another topic in itself. No, just
wanted to hit on it a bit. Mental health. That's why I said mental health is for all. Mental health temanyi dini, temanyi status, temanyi oba oyina sente oba toyina sente. Mental health tebimanyi yabona. And also
kubanga olaba abasumbanga beta. I was reading a statistics in America. Most pastors die on the pulpit. Nakutuka nagweri nogamba yiyi n'omusumba. That's another topic we need to talk about, please. That's another topic we need to talk about. Gift, our time is fast spent. Naye oyina ebintu by'otugudde, nze personal onzigudde amaaso, kyemanyi n'abatulaba, oyina ebintu by'okutteko ebitugudde amaaso. Maama ayinza okuba tamanyi. Kubanga ebiseera ebisinga abantu bakola ebintu mu butamanya nti raisins abaana kati nga ky'ekintu kyoyogeddeko eky'abaana nti omuzadde all of a sudden packing ebintu tukole ki tugende. It feels so normal mbadde until you talked about it honestly mbadde sisuubira nti kisobola n'okuleeta ki trauma. How can we take charge? Kubanga waliwo omuntu agamba nti if you're born from a poor family, that is not your problem. But if a poor family comes out of you, then that is a what? A problem. Gift tuyambe. Twekozeemu tutya omulimu right now where we are in just a few minutes. Simanyi wogenda chirapinga naye. I know that grace is sufficient. Yes, please.
Twekozeemu tutya omulimu. This is an awareness month. Omulimu ogugenda okusooka gwe tulina okwekolamu is to become aware. To become aware, tukkirize nti obuzibu weebuli, tukkirize nti we have mental health issues. Ekyo tulina okukikiriza. Naawe ng'omuntu kkiriza nti nina I have a problem. Maybe I just can't put my head around it. And also that is why professionals are here. I don't know why people don't want to get into the hospital. Me, I'm telling you this because I spent so many years in Butabika. And for some reason, just I assessed myself back and forth. Back and forth. And I assessed my family back and forth. Nembuza ne mama wange ebibuuzo ebizibu. Those hard conversations. Because I want to know my stand. Like I said, and for the family, I can emphasize it over and over. Bino ebintu byetukula ne weebuzaabuza nti family yo oba teriiyo oba togimanyi. You want to feel like you don't come from a family. There is a family that you come from. Abantu betusanga obukulu si family zaffe. We have families that we come from. And those families toyina kuzidduka. Your family is part of your past and sometimes your present meanwhile. So toyina kuzidduka. Establish what has been in our family for the past generations. Weebuuze twali tufunyeyo wa suicide, twali tufunyeyo anywa sigala, anywa omwenge, twali tufunyeyo ayina oba mania oba ensimbu, twali tufunyeyo ebintu bwe bityo. Byebuuze, bw'omala okubyebuuza, then manya nti no, okujjako nga kisa kya Katonda, you're not any better. Then go in the hospital. Bw'ona agenda mu ddwaliro, bw'ona alaba maybe a psychiatrist, a psychologist, they can help you do a thorough assessment. Then bakugamba okusinzira ku kino na kino kye tusanze, for you this is where you fall. Either they assess your personality, omanye nti okusinzira ku kikula kyange bwenti bwe nnina okukolamu obulamu. And also I want to talk to the believers, eri abalokole ffenna. Bw'omanya ekintu, I always want to say that most of the problems we have, it's because of ignorance. Because because of ignorance, because we do not know. Naye bw'omanya ekintu ne maaso ga Katonda bw'oba osaba kifuuka kyangu kubanga osaba with the knowledge. Mukama omugamba omwana wange alina personality bweti, omwana ono ali bwati ne bwati, naye Mukama nga nze siri bwenti. No, you establish that personality. Omwana wange ali paranoid, omwana wange ali hysterical, omwana wange ali obsessive. Like you establish all those facts. I'll give an example. There is one time someone mentioned, I was teaching them about obsessive personality disorders. And this man said, nze mukazi wange, she's suffering, that even when she's in her periods, I want to have sex with her because I'm obsessed with sex. That is his personality. That is his obsession. But now he's a family person. Just imagine. And he was truthfully saying that I've never taken time to heal through this obsession. Never. And yet for mental health, it's for us to manage mental health issues, there are holistic approaches. Prayer is one of the approach that we use. But you can't pray against something chotamanyi. You need to first know it into you need to know I'm stressed, I'm burnt out, I'm depressed, whatever condition it is. Jimanye ngawe ngambye fenna tulina obuzibu ku bwongo. The highest percentage of us. That's why statistics zitugamba in 5 people, 1 of you. In 4 people, 1 of you. Nti nga bwe tuli wano, 1 of us has a mental problem.
Wow.
And that is true.
Wow.
So, like I said, let's become aware. Then when we become aware, njagala gula motoka, and then you start consulting. Njagala gula taka, then you start consulting. So even take your mental health to be personal. People that are in families, take the mental health of people in your home very personal.
Manang, will I recover? This has been a good show. This has been an eye-opening show. This has been a very educative show. This has been a show that we need in such a time and in such a generation. Gift. Webale. We need people like you. In just a minute, I want you to conclude. Yes. I don't know how you're going to wrap that up.
I'm going to conclude by saying, Bambi mbasaba ffenna nga nange mwendi tugendeko mu malwaliro. Ng'ekitututte mu malwaliro sikkebera sukaali, sikkebera pressure, sikkebera figures, sikkebera naye tugende nga tugenze kukola. There is what we call a mental state exam nga tugenze tukeberako ku bwongo. Nga tugenze ogenda oyingire otuuke ku reception y'eddwaliro bagambe nzize kukola kye bayita mental state exam, njagala kunkeberako ku bwongo bwange. I feel like that is the best thing you can give to us as a country. As an individual, that is the best thing you can give to the country. Because most of the problems is of course, money is the problem, but mental health issues zirese ebizibu bingi in families, in marriages, mu baana. You don't know how many youths are into drugs and substances.
Right.
Even people that are religious
Right.
into drugs and substances. But if we can go and assess those things n'omanya nti yeah, already nkirimu nkiyingiddemu, now how do I get out of it?
Yes, yeah.
But now we get comfortable,
Yeah.
ne tugifuula nomo. Wali okozeeko omuze ne gutukira ekisa ne gukufuukira nomo, ng'olaba kya bulijjo. So let's just get into the hospital, ekyo kye nnyinza otugamba.
Okay.
Get a therapist. Let's normalize going for therapy.
Yeah.
At least maybe once a week
Therapy
or
nga ya
once.
bei bannange. Anyway, kyo tujja kyogerako bane therapy. Anyway.
Ya bei.
Yes. Gift. Omuntu bw'aba ayagala okujja mu therapy, can they contact you? Do you have any social media platforms? Maybe your number? Yes. Kubanga ebyaddala twetaaga therapy. Tugyetaaga abatuwuliriza.
Me, I do coaching, and like I said, I do strategizing for organizations, and I also do consultancy. If someone wants to consult about mental health, I also do the therapy. So you can, on social media, Instagram, Facebook, every social media, my name is there, Gift Nakayinga.
Yeah.
You can do our DM, but also you can call on +256 773 737267. I'll be able to handle by the grace of God.
Okay. Thank you so much, Gift. That
Welcome.
was really a beautiful show. I've learned a lot and I've enjoyed. To all our viewers out there, I want to welcome you back from such a very educative show. Thank you so much for sticking around. I've been Sarah Terra. Until next time, bye-bye.